Good day, everyone. I am Maricor P. Vargas, the reporter for this topic. My topic is about theoretical approaches in social work, the system theory. What is system theory in social work? Systems theory in social work is based on the idea that behavior is influenced by a variety of factors that work together as a system. These factors include family, friends, social settings, economic class, and the environment at home. The theory posits that these and other factors influence how individuals think and act, and therefore examining these social structures to find ways to correct ineffective parts or adapt for missing elements of a given system can positively impact behavior. The fields of psychology, communication theory, and psychiatric influence modern social work system theory. In this particular theoretical approach to social work, professionals observe and analyze the many systems that contribute to the subject's behavior and welfare. They then work to improve those systems according to the individual unique situation. What are the issues to be addressed by system theory? System theory offers a more complete view of a person's situation within his or her social environment. It is often applied to situations where many issues connect intricately, influencing one another in various ways. System theory in social work is used in cases where contextual understandings of behavior will lead to the most appropriate practice interventions. Example of issues that can be addressed includes number 1, school trauma. According to School Social Work Association of America, general system theory along with theories of human behavior can help school social workers assist students affected by the complex interrelated factors associated with traumatic issues occurring in the school setting that impact childhood development and educational advancement. Next, depression, bipolar disorders, and anxiety. This treatment approach can be helpful for these types of mental health conditions. And family system therapy, in particular, has also been shown to help individuals and family members better control and cope. Next, eating disorders. Research has shown that there can be positive outcomes for individuals who seek help when suffering with anorexia, bulimia, or some other types of eating disorder. One study found that family systems theory approaches significantly help participants continue to experience full remission of the eating disorder 1 full year after the end of therapy. Next, risky behaviors. Children or adults who are exhibiting risky behaviors, such as drug abuse and unprotected sex, may be able to connect with treatments and alternatives to dangerous activities when professionals can conduct closer examinations. This may sometimes be in conjunction with other social theories. What are the intervention with system theory? So according to System Theory and Social Work by Stephen Walker, in 2019, there are three broad schools of interventions that can be identified. They are number 1, structural approaches. This type of intervention stem from the techniques of observing the interactive patterns in a family or system, and then a structural approach would be taken to highlight problem, problematic situations, find problem solving solutions to interrupt them when they are happening, and then get the individual or family to try different ways of acting that lead to better outcomes. Next is the strategic approaches. The focus with strategic interventions is on the everyday problematic interactions and solving them with properly applied cognitive thinking. Often, perceptions people have about their problems influence how those issues are handled. This type of approach allows for a culturally relevant solution that focuses on a family's or individual's perceptions within a system, rather than trying to impose perceptions strictly from the outside. Next is the systemic approaches. This approach, also called the Millian systemic model, works with a whole family or system rather than just the individual. The focus of this approach is to discover rules and ideologies that are sustaining dysfunctional patterns, then to encourage change in a way that avoids being perceived as blaming others within the system. Elements in system theory. So, according to system theory and social work, while there are several approaches that can be taken to meet the needs of individual clients, there are a few elements that can are generally part of every implementation. It is important not to take theoretical elements and concept to level of abstraction where they can case to be useful. That said, several regular elements to system theory implementation includes supervision. Having a trained, licensed professional supervising therapy sessions is important. Social workers, family therapists, or registered therapists can offer feedback and suggestions and screened observation to gain a different perspective to the social worker involved with the case. Okay, let us see the context of problems and the circularity and patterns. In context of problems, considered by some to be the most defining characteristic of social worker practice, this element of system theory is an ecological approach to the problems presented. The social worker asked a series of questions that are linked to the context of the presenting problem as defined in familial, professional, public, socio-economic, and cultural dynamics. The focus is on looking at difficulties from other angles in order to understand unhealthy patterns and then change or avoid them. While in circularity and patterns, these characteristics of system theory based work assumes that problematic behavior is part of a reflexive circular motion of events and actions. Spotting and addressing the circular processes effectively can provide a positive way to move forward. This can help people get behind the blaming or scapegoating behaviors that often stagger progress. System theory case study. Case studies for system theory applications in social work provides valuable insight into professional findings that can help others exponentially. Case studies provide real world examples of how interventions can be applied and help us better understand the interrelated factors that contribute to unhealth actions. Professionals can learn a lot from case study and their valuable documentations. Take, for instance, the case of Jennifer, a 15-year-old adolescent who showed signs of depression at school. Academically, excellencing and generally a good kid. Her teachers and guidance counselor noticed that she frequently appeared done and rarely happy. She had difficulty relating to many of her classmates and had trouble creating meaningful friendship. Jennifer shared with her counselor that she often felt rejected by other kids, and she wondered what was so wrong with her. The counselor and Jennifer identified patterns in her life events that contributed to her feelings of sadness and anxiety. She saw her mother as frequently wanting Jennifer by her side, often complaining about her marriage. Jennifer felt sorry for her mother and frustrated with having to spend so much time with her too. There were blow ups. Jennifer's mother would then cry and leave. Her father would then yell at her for disrespecting her mother. Then Jennifer could withdraw at school. Even though her parents were not feeling to be involved, Jennifer made progress with her counselor anyway. Her enhanced perspective regarding her familial relationship was possible in part due to the system approach employed by her counselor. She was able to develop a healthier level of self awareness and insight. Through case study like this one, family system theory, interventions, and practices give a view into the context of the family unit. Deep dive examination of family triangulation, projection, and emotional dysfunction allow others in the field of social work to better understand the various interrelated systems they may face in their own professional practice. Why is social work system theory important? It is valuable for a social worker rather, to be able to piece together a family's story by assessing or understanding all their separate parts of that family or system. By doing this, they may gain a better understanding of the whole system in which the client lives. This is critical to enable professionals to think about the dynamics facing the individual in daily life, both inside and outside the family. Understanding and applying systems theory is critical in most forms of social work because it can offer insights that can help people break harmful habits and stop behaviors that keep them from having a fuller in life. With better insights and tools, clients can better navigate through the systems in which live. They live. This can be one of the most rewarding aspects of a social worker's job. That's all my report. Thank you for listening.